Breaking news! The buzz surrounding the 2025 NFL Draft hasn't quieted down, and honestly, it shouldn't, because what just happened might be remembered as one of the most cunning, calculated, and exciting draft executions in recent Denver Broncos history. The atmosphere behind the scenes is electric, and there are some crucial details I've got to share with you right now. We all know the Broncos are gunning for the Super Bowl, and to get there, Sean Payton needs a roster packed with explosive, high-character talent. I'll break down everything I'm hearing. But before we dive in, if you've been a Broncos fan for over 20 years, make sure you hit that like button. It's always inspiring to see fans of all ages representing our orange and blue. If possible, comment below, "Go Broncos!" My heart bleeds orange and blue. Now let's get straight to it. This draft didn't just go well for the Broncos, it was a masterclass in value and vision. The noise began to build after Bo Nix's selection last year, but now, Sean Payton and the Broncos front office have struck again. They secured two players that multiple NFL front offices were gushing over, and they did it without overpaying, reaching, or panicking. Start with Harvey. He wasn't just a second-round pick, he was a calculated strike. 5 picks before the second round wrapped, Sean Payton made his move. Immediately after, inside the Jacksonville Jaguars front office, frustration boiled over. According to a piece from Mike Silver, they were ready to roll the dice on Harvey despite already giving up major assets for Travis Hunter. In fact, their coaching staff reportedly plastered Harvey's shirtless photo on the screen and said, "This is the guy we need." But Payton got there first. The reaction? Audible cursing, disbelief, sheer frustration. That's how badly other teams wanted him. And why wouldn't they? Harvey is a former Division I quarterback turned running back, meaning his field vision and play reading skills are on another level. You're not just drafting a runner, you're getting a dual-processed mind on the field, someone who reads coverages, anticipates movement, and executes with elite football IQ. Physically, the comparisons are getting wild. People are putting his measurables side by side with prime Ray Rice. He's faster than Rice, stronger in the vertical, and carries similar weight in a compact, explosive frame. Ray Rice had a 31-inch vertical. Harvey has a 38. That kind of athleticism, paired with his field acumen and quiet leadership, being the first to arrive, last to leave, a team captain, makes him one of the most compelling rookie additions in the NFL this year. It's not just Broncos fans hyping him either. Bleacher Report is already projecting him as a top-tier fantasy back, just a notch below the Raiders' 6th overall pick Ashton Jeanty. And remember, Denver got Harvey by trading down, not up. He'll be running behind a stronger offensive line, with better receivers and a competent quarterback. That could mean Harvey doesn't just match Jeanty's production, he could surpass it. But Harvey wasn't the only steal. Enter Jade Barron. According to Pro Football Focus, who, let's be honest, have not been historically friendly to the Broncos, this was the biggest steal of the entire draft. Yes, number 1. Denver had a top 10 grade on Barron, and somehow, he slid right into our hands. That's not luck. That's preparation meeting opportunity. That's Payton at work. And just when you thought it couldn't get better, there's Pat Bryant, Duval Pat, as some are calling him. The Jaguars were also reportedly furious about losing out on him. This isn't just a receiver who snuck in under the radar. He was already being compared to Michael Thomas by some analysts before the draft even began. This guy had 10 touchdowns and just 1 drop all year, playing against elite Big Ten competition. And he did it with a quarterback most fans can't even name. His RAS score? Nearly identical to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not a track star, but turn on the tape and the dude plays with legit game speed. He catches in traffic, one-handers, perfect footwork, sharp cuts. It's all there. You can see the strategy forming. Payton didn't chase hype. He bet on work ethic, versatility, and character. He bet on guys with something to prove and the tools to prove it. And now that the dust has settled, other NFL teams are recognizing that Denver absolutely fleeced this draft. So here's what I want to know from you. Which Broncos draft pick are you most hyped to see take the field in Week 1? Are you riding with Harvey? Is Jade Barron your dark horse? Or do you think Pat Bryant is about to shock the league? Let me know. And when you're ready, I've got a second part coming your way with even more insight. Just say the word. Alright, let's keep it rolling. Because we haven't even fully scratched the surface of how the Denver Broncos might have just altered the course of their next decade with this draft class. The ripple effects of these selections are going to echo through training camp and into the season, and we've got to talk more about Pat Bryant. Look, this isn't just some late-round flyer who might end up on the practice squad. This is a guy Sean Payton sees as a foundational piece. Think about it, Payton doesn't throw out comparisons lightly. When he hints that someone reminds him of Michael Thomas, you pay attention. And it turns out, he wasn't the only one who saw it. A draft podcast had already circled Bryant as a sleeper weeks before the draft, and they made the Michael Thomas comparison themselves, before it was cool. Now, what separates Bryant from so many other receivers is his balance of physical toughness and mental sharpness. We're talking about a guy who played against some of the best secondaries in the nation and held his own. 10 touchdowns, 1 drop. That's not just production. That's consistency, reliability, and focus. You want guys like that on the field in clutch moments, and Bo Nix is going to love having a target he can count on when the game is on the line. And let's go a little deeper on Jade Barron. It's one thing to say he was the steal of the draft, but when Pro Football Focus, an outlet that routinely puts the Broncos near the bottom of their rankings, suddenly flips and says this was the top value pick of the entire draft, that says a lot. Denver didn't just luck into a solid player. They landed a top 10 graded prospect outside of the first round. And let me remind you, this is a team that didn't have a ton of draft capital to work with. Sean Payton had to be surgical, and he was. Barron brings swagger to the secondary. This is a guy who can line up against WR1S and make plays on the ball. He's got that it factor that you can't coach, instincts, ball skills, and that dog mentality. And again, other teams are coming out of their war rooms saying, how did Denver get him? That's the theme of this entire draft. The Broncos didn't just take who was available. They took who everyone else wanted and did it with poise and planning. Now, remember what this all means in the big picture. Denver didn't go shopping in free agency trying to patch holes with veterans looking for one last paycheck. They built this thing from the ground up. They bet on development, on coaching, on fit and character, and it's starting to pay off. You add this rookie class to last year's group, where guys like Bo Nix are already showing they belong, and suddenly the Broncos aren't just trying to be competitive. They're aiming to be dangerous. And while everyone's been busy talking about the Chiefs and the Chargers, it's the Broncos who've been quietly assembling one of the most complete, hungry, and versatile rosters in the AFC. Think about the balance now. Harvey in the backfield, Bo under center, Bryant on the outside, Barron locking things down on defense. That's a young nucleus, and if these guys even come close to matching the hype we're hearing from scouts and execs around the league, the Broncos are going to be a problem. But what stands out to me most is the identity forming in Denver. You can feel it, right? There's a shift. These aren't just talented players, they're leaders, grinders, guys who elevate the culture. Harvey is the first in, last out. Barron's got the chip on his shoulder. Bryant's a technician with insane hands. These are players you build dynasties with, not just fill a depth chart. So Broncos country, I want to leave you with this. Are we witnessing the early stages of something special here? Could this be the core that brings us back to the Super Bowl? I think the foundation has been poured, and it's strong, high-character concrete. If you're feeling this too, hit that subscribe button. Tap like if you believe in what Sean Payton is building. And don't miss the next video, I'll have it up on screen. You'll want to click through because we're diving into film breakdowns and how these rookies fit into our schemes. Go Broncos!